Hello everyone, welcome back to Three Swords Productions. Tonight we have an interesting video, a little bit different. We're going to be playing some Star Wars Unlimited. Brand new game from Fantasy Flight that just launched, and we actually were able to get a number of boxes from our local game store. And Zach and I decided, let's throw some popular decks together and just see how we fare playing those matchups. So we have not put a lot of time into the game as of the time of recording this. Now, since this video is coming out, I have since played in a local, and honestly, that taught me a lot of the rules that I'd gotten wrong. Honestly, if you're just unsure about, different aspects of the game, maybe what you're supposed to do in different scenarios or against random decks that other people are putting together, get outside of your bubble. Go to your local game store, find some Star Wars events near you. I think that's just the best way to get started. So I'm gonna have the initiative, so we've got that cool pirate token there at the bottom. And I'm going to deploy a, what is that called? Snow Trooper Lieutenant. And of course, Zach is going to deploy his expert, I think it's called Spec Force Spectre. There, that costs 1. So I'm going to take the initiative. And let's see what Zach does. He still has his Sabine ping, so he's going to deal 1 damage to both of us. And we're both playing copies of ECL, Energy Conversion Lab. It's a very, very solid card. And I think it's probably one of the best bases, although I have had success playing Echo Base. Just the 30 life. You lose the ability, but I do think against Sabine or aggro decks, the extra 5 life kind of feels like a powerful ability on its own. So, I know you're going to read deck lists and you're going to see that ECL is by far the strongest base. And I think I agree that it is. But don't let the 30 health make you feel like, hey, this is a vanilla base, doesn't have an effect, because I think it is powerful in its own way. All right, we're going to think about what we're going to do. So ECL here, we're going to put out Super Laser Technician. This is an excellent play because it's going to remove the Spec Force. And then on defeat, the Super Laser Technician goes to my resources and readies itself. So that's very cool. Now, I don't have another 1-drop to play this turn, but if I did, that would have been a very efficient play. But I'm happy just removing the damage. In these games, I've found that, especially with the 25 life base with ECL, it matters so much that you remove basically every single possible point of damage that you can. Now, throughout this game, you're going to see me take the initiative often instead of taking my leader ability as many times as I possibly can. Now, I'm doing that because I really want the initiative token so I can actually attack his units before he's able to swing back with them. Zach is playing some very powerfully synergistic cards with, Rebel Assault. I'm not going to get that back and forth exchange that I think I'm going to get with Rebel Assault because he can attack multiple times with a single action. So I have to kind of take the initiative token as often as I can so that I can start the turn by taking out at least one of those units. Now, if I can take out one of those units, it makes his Rebel Assault go from a very powerful card all the way down to an unplayable card. That's just eating up his hand. So that's the kind of things that I really want to do in this matchup because I really need to preserve my life as much as I can. Now, I had 1 damage on ECL, and I used my leader ability to remove it after he took the initiative last turn. So he's got his Fleet Lieutenant on board and an untapped Sabine. Now, he's at 4 resources this turn, so he can put his Sabine out. His Sabine is a 3/5, or 2/5, that when it attacks, it's going to deal 1 damage to ECL. Now, I'm trying to figure out, am I holding up for the takedown this turn, or am I just going to put out a unit? And I think at this point, it's important for me to call out that I got the rules wrong when we were filming this video. I thought that when you pass, if you pass again on the next action, like if Zach were to take an action and it comes back to me, and I pass a second time, I thought my turn was done. So I didn't want to sit here and just pass, because I thought I could only do that once. So I'm going to use Power of the Dark Side here. That, by the way, that's a fantastic card. But I didn't want to just sit there and pass, waiting for this Sabine because I thought that would end my turn and I would actually kind of get wrecked for that. So I'm not going to be able to use Takedown as effectively as I otherwise would have been able to. But that being said, Power of the Dark Side is so good. I mean, I think that's actually just a strong alternative, right? I do end up taking a bit of extra damage for that. I took 3 extra damage where otherwise I would not have. And I'm going to go ahead and resource the Vanquish there. But I took extra damage that I otherwise wouldn't have. But I did clear a Sentinel ship. And Bright Hope's no joke, especially when it gets red 3 on the table. Bright Hope can swing for 3. And we're going to go ahead and start out by flipping Iden. Now, I'm doing that because I have the initiative, and on my next play, I can Overwhelming Barrage. And I am holding Overwhelming Barrage. So it's going to be really powerful. And with only 1 unit on his board, with only just Sabine, he's going to have a real difficult time removing my shield and getting rid of my Iden. And I think that's important because I need my Iden's effect of whenever you remove a unit, you heal 1. That's going to be such an important ability when you're playing ECL. You really, really have to leverage that ability because healing for 1, 2, 3 points of damage is so often how the game just concludes that it's really important. So whenever I defeat a unit, I'm going to heal 1. Defeated the Sabine there. I'm going to heal 1. Okay, he's going to play Freedom Fighters. Wow. It's not exactly Freedom Fighters. It's Fighters for Freedom. Kind of the same thing, though, if you ask me. And I'm going to attack that for 6. And we're going to heal 1 down to 3. And he's at 1 damage, but we're not worried about what we're damaging him exactly. We're just worried about healing us. Now, it can feel a little bad, though, removing my shield just to get rid of a single unit when my shield is very important. But the Ren could actually have trouble trading into the Iden, so I'm using it here because I don't have another unit in play, and I think it's important to just go ahead and actually get rid of every possible unit because, I mean, you're looking at my hand right now. I do have ships in my hand. We have space troops. We also have Vader. So Vader's going to be really powerful, and it's the perfect incentive to try and retake the board here. So, I do lose my unit. I lose my leader ability. Apologies for that. But I gain the board, and I think that's really important for tempo as we're already on 7 resources, and he's only been able to deal 3 damage to me. So now we're deciding, is this actually a Vader turn or not? And I don't think so, because Vader has ambush, so I'm always able to do that again next turn. And we're going to play the Space Viper. That card is very, very powerful with its Restore 2 ability. That almost dominates the game, and I'm able here now to take the initiative so that next turn I can swing with Space Viper, and I'm going to be able to heal 2. So I'm going to go back down to 2 health, or just 2 damage on my ECL. That's going to be really powerful. So we're going to draw 2 cards here, pick up the rest of my hand. And do I resource? I mean, I'm going to play Vader this turn, almost assuredly. Still holding Takedown. Takedown a really powerful card in this matchup, by the way. It's able to defeat 1 unit that has 5 or less health. And Sabine just perfectly has 5 health. So you're able to just, kind of for free, remove that Sabine from the table. We're going to play Vader. We're going to look at the top 10 cards. We're going to search the top 10 cards. We're going to look for 1 card that has villainy. Or we're going to look for a number of cards that have villainy up to a total cost of 3. Put it into play for without paying the cost. And it has ambush, so it's going to be able to do a number of different things. So we're looking for, the cell guards. Having the Sentinel there is very powerful. We're also looking for the Death Trooper. I think he's really strong. Seasoned Shore. I think this is Shore Trooper. Seasoned Shore Trooper here. Very strong. When I have more than 6 resources, it gets +2 to its power. So it becomes a 4/3. It's very strong when you're hiding behind a Sentinel. You can turn the corner on your opponent's life very quickly with that card. Especially when you have Vader in play. Vader's already kind of obnoxious to get rid of. Alright. Now it's on Sabine to kind of break my board because, I've got the Space Cat in the sky. And, we've got complete dominance of the board on the ground thanks to Vader. Sabine's already used their leader. We're going to heal down to 2. This is a back-breaking position for Sabine. And we're going to find out if cards like K2SO are able to bring the board back with its powerful Overwhelm ability, or if we're going to play maybe that Green Squadron and try and take over the skies with a nice initiative grab. All right, so we are going to take out We're going to play Green Squadron. And I think I still have time, so I'm going to use Even. And then we're going to also deploy K2SO, so we've got kind of a dual purpose here. Now, I'm interested because there's a world where he plays the Green Squadron there and then takes the initiative immediately after, so he can clear my Space Viper, my Star Viper, and then he can kind of dominate the skies from there and stop the hemorrhaging from the Restore. Now, that loses out on the board tempo on the ground pretty hard, so I think he made the right call, but I'm just calling it out. The sequencing matters a lot in this game, and I think there's a world where he could have done that. So we're going to play Overwhelming Barrage, and that's basically going to be the game. He's probably going to scoop it up because the second Overwhelming Barrage is quite a lot to deal with, and it's certainly not fun, but those are the games that you get from Green. They're able to just stabilize from the very beginning, and then Overwhelming Barrage just kind of presses that advantage that you already kind of have. It makes the game so difficult for your opponent when you're able to 2-for-1 them, or even in the cases where you can 3-for-1 them, it gets so much worse than that, right? So it's very strong. I definitely understand why Zach did not want to continue playing that game out. It's better just let's go to the next one. Again, I'm sorry guys for that handwritten ECL there. Again, we were very early in playing the game during this video, and we didn't actually pick up another energy conversion lab until last night. Last night we finally did pick one up. This game was recorded a number of days ago, but last night we picked up a second copy, so now we can actually play those correctly on stream. But I thought it was more important that we play test the correct base rather than play testing what we had. I thought, let's go, because I knew I was going to get an energy conversion at some point, so I thought it was just more important to actually get the testing in rather than showcasing the cards that we owned. Nothing wrong with that, though. I actually ended up taking Energy Conversion Lab out of my Even deck and playing Echo Base instead, just for the extra 5 health. Hopefully, during this game, we're going to see why maybe 5 extra health is the make or break for these control decks. Because in that game, Zach kind of started from behind, and he's on Sabine. He was not able to ever really snowball out of control. He was not able to snowball ahead of me. But we're going to find out this game if he's able to do that or not. So we've got Seasoned Shore Trooper here. Not a very powerful opening for sure, but you got to get something on the table. And Zach starting with a 3-3 and me starting with a 2-2. I'm actually wondering from this advantage, or from this point of view, if it's almost better for me to just not play anything. But I think that's probably wrong. I mean, I think at the very least, if he ends up playing playing the 3-3 and attacking my Shore Trooper, we slow him down a little bit. I think that's actually really important. So Wing Leader going to come down, give it 2 experience points. My Death Trooper in hand, if I'm holding one, looking a lot worse. So I don't know if he was intentionally playing around that card or not. It turns out that I don't have it, but if I did, a Shore Trooper attacks into his Battlefield Marine, goes down to 1 health remaining, and then I play Death Trooper, deal 2 damage to my Death Trooper, deal 2 damage to his Battlefield Marine, and then from there, I'm able to clear up the board, and I still got myself a 3-3. Or it's, it has 2 damage on it, but it is 3-3. And we're going to play Star Viper, and Battlefield Marine's going to attack for 5. That's a nice way to get 5 damage across. I think we'll take that one. Now, I can only attack his base back, so it doesn't feel very good. Now, I think there's a world here where I just take the initiative. I think that would actually been a much stronger play. So I definitely fumbled right there. That 2 damage, there is absolutely no shot that 2 damage was worth not getting the initiative. I would 100% rewind that. That was 100% wrong. And actually, that might have been the reason that I lost this entire match, to be honest. If I end up losing this game, that could be the reason. Because from here, I'm not going to get to Star Viper into his Wing Leader, which is a free trade for me, and I heal for 2. And instead of that, he's going to Rebel Assault me, attack me for 6, and take out my Star Viper. So I lose my Star Viper, I lose 2 health, and I take 6, all for 1 single resource on his side. Now, if I had the initiative, that would have never worked. But because I didn't take the initiative, I really get punished here. And he flips Sabine on this turn as well, so now we're kind of really stuck here. And it's crazy, right? From this perspective, it's so obvious that I made that mistake. But when you're playing the game, you're thinking like, okay, well, how at the end of the game, I'm gonna have enough health left that this 2 points might actually matter. So maybe I want to go for this. But it turns out no, just the tempo on board in this matchup is really what matters. And I'm happy to showcase that one slight error there can snowball the game in a completely opposite direction. I actually think I was fine. I think I was okay on board. And I just gave it away. Now I'm holding Vader, which doesn't come down for another 3 turns. So, I mean, I'm just dead by then, right? Because he's got 2 experience on his Sabine right now. I cannot survive for that number of times, that number of turns. So when Vader comes down, it's going to be far, far too late. Now, I'm holding Overwhelming Barrage. But right now, no characters to play it on. I don't have the initiative still. Still don't have the initiative. Now I've got a second copy of Overwhelming Barrage, and I have to figure out, what do I want to resource right now? Is it Overwhelming Barrage, which is the only card that's actually going to pull me back into the game? Or is it Star Viper, which is so important because of its restore ability? I'm so up a creek right now because I made that one mistake. Okay, he's going to play. That's a Fleet Lieutenant, allowing him to attack for 7 right there. Now, 7 damage is not at all what I wanted to see. And we're going to play the Overwhelming Barrage, which takes out one thing right now. I get two off that way for sure, but the Sabine is still on the table, and Sabine is ready to attack me for a 5 again next turn. And there's really nothing I can do about it because, with only 2 resources left on his side, he finds it totally okay to go ahead and take the initiative token. All right. We're at 19 damage, so we've only got 6 left. I mean, he needs 1 point of damage, genuinely. So we're going to attack for, that's for 5. Or that's for 4. My apologies. Math is hard, apparently. We're going to heal for 1. Take this down to 18. $12, $17, $21. Well, I think we saw this happen. I think I actually let's go ahead and rewind that for like a couple notches here because I think I took myself to the wrong health there. So we're currently at, let's see, let's rewind right here. All right, so we attack for 4 on the Sabine, put 4 damage on it. And let's go ahead and pause and just count. So we've got 12, 17, 21 damage right now. 17, 21. Okay. So we've got 21 damage at the moment. And then we healed down. I think I see what happened. We just miscounted. I just miscounted a moment ago. Haha, I made us rewind for nothing. Gotcha. Baited. What's funny is I think we actually miscounted in the moment also. And that is, we played that one and we were like, I'm pretty sure we went from 19 to 21 by mistake. But no, we actually went from 21 to 20. So I'm at 5 right now. And he just attacks for 5 and that's the game. And we go, we're like pretty sure that's not the end of the game, and then he makes the attack for 5, and we're like, I don't know what just happened, but the game is definitely over now. But that's a crazy showcase because I mean, like I said, you make one single mistake, and the game is punishing enough to actually to discipline that. I mean, right there, I ended up losing the entire momentum of the board. I lost my Space Viper, my Star Viper instantly for making that mistake. And it was all over 2 damage. And if you look at the ECL right now, it only has 2 damage on it, and that's actually just the most punishing thing that could have happened. To have that reminder etched into the board right now. Here's 2 damage that you lost the entire game to deal. Guess what? It's still there. Zach not wanting to clear that one. Kind of possibly even showing me my mistake, knowing that I'm going to watch the video back. And if that's what he did, mad respect, because honestly, in the moment, I did not at all see what I did wrong. I don't remember feeling bad about that attack for 2. Now that I'm looking at it, it was a terrible attack for 2, and I'm not really sure what I was thinking. But that's okay. I mean, that's honestly why we're practicing. That's why I'm watching the video back. just so I can learn, because I mean I'm really interested in this matchup, and you know the ECL is very powerful for sure, but I think there's so many things to learn about this game that transcends just beyond like powerful cards. And that's what I love about it. I mean, the beauty of this game is that it's so deep. There is a rich number of lines that you can take, and the sequencing matters so much. All right, we're going to look, decide mulligans. Now, I'm not seeing a tremendous number of early cards, but we do have some of the important bangers for this matchup. Lord Vader, for sure. Overwhelming Barrage, very important. And we're going to play Viper. So Viper comes down. We're going to look at his hand. He's got red 3. He's got Heroic. He's got K2SO. And the last card is Battlefield Medic. So Battlefield Medic, very strong. It's actually what ran away with the game last time. For sure, one of the early starts. Giving that thing 2 experience with a wing leader was important. But this one's gone a little bit differently, as I have Viper on the table to contest the Battlefield Medic, and I've got the initiative, so we will not be seeing Wing Leader come down and power up the Battlefield Medic to get the free trades. That's not going to happen this game, so we're going to find out how Zach's able to deal with that. We got 3 here. We're just going to go ahead and take the trade because, well, we learned our lesson last time about the Battlefield Medic for sure. Red 3 comes down, a very strong ship. And Power the Dark Side to get rid of it. Now, that's incredibly useful. We have a Sentinel ship in our hand for next turn. We're going to heal back to 0. He took the initiative, rather, or I guess we're going to heal down to 1 because he dealt 1 with his Sabine. That's totally fair. Resource. Okay, now we've got 4 resources available, and we're probably going to deploy the Sentinel ship this turn, but we're kind of hoping Zach leads into a ship. Now, if we're holding Takedown, Takedown would be very nice for the Sabine. Does look like we're holding Takedown, but we don't know about the rule that allows us to just pass indefinitely until our opponent takes the initiative, and then we're passed for the round. But we don't know about that rule. We think while recording this video that we're only allowed to pass 1 time, and then on our next turn we have to take an action. So he plays K2SO here. And I really want to hold the takedown for his leader. So I just deploy the Sentinel ship, and we're going to take the 3. And now we're going to go to untaps. I do have the initiative, so I can go ahead and take down on this turn. But it's a little bit awkward now because I have 5. So, you know, I feel like I kind of wasted some resources. If I had done it the other way, if I had instead passed until Sabine came down, I could have played takedown on Sabine. And then I could have played Vanquish this turn. But instead, Overwhelming Barrage comes down. Very strong card. But it's not the 2-for-1 trade that it normally is. Wing Leader. Probably going to lose the Wing Leader. But K2SO, very buffed. 6 power, 6 toughness. Very strong. Overwhelm on that card as well. And when defeated, can deal 3 damage. And Zach going to take 5 damage here. And then attack me back for 6. That makes total sense. Now I'm at 11. Going to heal down to 10. And we're going to see that Battlefield Medic finally touch the board. Now we saw that in his opening hand. So that was a well-disciplined wait on Zach's part. Understanding the value of Wing Leader. Giving out experience tokens. Trying to dodge my Overwhelming Barrage effects for sure. We're going to resource up to... Looks like we've got 6 on both sides now. So Even can come down. I've got the initiative. I've got the Overwhelming Barrage. Do I want to play for Eben's effect or no? So now we're actually going to have a really tough time here because if we deploy Eben and he's got the Heroic Assault, we will pay the price. So we have to consider, do we play around that? Is it truly worth it? And what's the upside of this? I mean, the downside, of course, if we go ahead and we... okay, we can't... I'm sorry. If we Overwhelming Barrage, right now, it's only got 5. So we'd be able to clear the Battlefield Medic and the Wing Leader. But that leaves us with the K2SO still on the board. And I don't think that's strong enough. I think I'm actually misplaying right now. I think the correct move was just to deploy the Even, let his heroic assault take care of my Even fully, but we lose out on not having 6 damage with the K2SO hitting my face this turn. And I actually think that's, I think that's fine, honestly, because if he did waste heroic assault just clearing my Even, we effectively heal for 10. Or I'm sorry, it's actually 11, because Battlefield Medic is 3+1 from the 3+1 from the heroic assault, plus K2SO is 6+1 from the heroic assault, so that's 7+4. That would be 11. We would have healed, but instead we've got our Even on the table. We've got it 1 shielded Even right now. We'll probably fix that. Almost certainly. Almost certainly. I'm looking for a shield token right now, actually. Okay, we're going to deal 1 damage to both of us with Sabine. Looks like we've got some paper in the way of grabbing our shield token, but we are going to need that shield. Fleet Lieutenant came down this turn. There's our shield. All right, and now I think it's time for us to take the initiative. Okay, we're going to lose the shield there. That cleared that away. He takes the initiative. And that's going to be probably lethal. So. Oh, he healed 1 from... Yeah, healed 1 from Iden, killing the Fleet Lieutenant. And we go to 18. So that's 1 off from lethal. So we're going to have to figure out something here. But yeah, I definitely think probably supposed to take the initiative there. Okay, and that is 1 event left in order to clear out the board. So that is the matchup. Now you saw all 3 of our games were like fairly close. I mean, the first one I kind of snowballed out ahead, but then the game 2 and game 3 were a lot closer, where I almost stabilized, but he's able to just kind of get there due to my mistakes. Now, I'm really hoping that you guys were able to see the mistakes that I saw in this game and how important they are. Because if in the world where I don't make a couple of those mistakes in game, if I don't make that big one in game 2, if I don't make a couple in game 3, the matchup goes completely differently, and we're actually able to see that happen, like play out right there. So, I think it's super important. I'm actually really happy that I'm able to showcase it with that with some of my earlier games, and I'm excited to evolve past that, so that we can showcase some more skill-intensive games. But, of course, it's always so important to showcase what not to do as well, because, sometimes this game can feel like, oh, my opponent got lucky. They had the heroic assault right when I didn't want them to, or, they had the for a cause I believe in, like right at the end of the game. When you look back, you can point out mistakes that you made and said, oh, well, if I had just taken the initiative on this turn, or if I had just used my unit in order to leverage some removal, or if I had used my leader ability a little bit better, I could have changed the game pretty dramatically. And so that's really important as we go into the remainder of set 1, as you guys start in your local tournaments. That's really important. But yeah, if you like this video, please let me know in the comments. Please give me a like, and let your friends know that you found excellent Star Wars content here on 3 Swords Productions. I'm so excited to be playing Star Wars Unlimited. The game has been fantastic so far, and I look forward to playing so many more games with all of you. Please hit me up. Join our Discord. If you're not already a member, go ahead and join the community. We talk about Fusion World, Star Wars Unlimited, Lorcana, One Piece, and we've just got a lot of really excellent folks out there in the community. So please come by. I'd be so excited to have you. And thanks for joining me for this video. I'll catch you in the next one. Good night.